take a walk on the fucking multi-side of life. Dark side, won't link a video today. What you gonna do? What can you do? You know what I wanna do is we're gonna go home and we're gonna go to settings. No, we're gonna go to entertainment. And then we're gonna go to tune. And it looks like it's gonna be tuned down to 90.9.
Watch that live on their television or radios. You know, you had 9/11, which was probably the last time we had.
You got skilled fucking potatoes.
More than half of Americans watching.
And I'll get to the Hurricane 16.1. High gravity B-Bobby's gonna be powerful.
Everything kind of,
be powerful.
Moving from, in some ways, from major newspapers and radio outlets like.
Well, I've been waiting all day to eat these scallops.
Various personalities, podcasts, and these different kinds of things online. So I think that those things are really challenging the ways in which institutions are, formed and shaped.
I don't know why they're called scallop. Because it's got scallop sauce.
So the challenge with that is, churches. Churches are institutions. They're physical places. And in order to do most of the things that we need to do in order to worship, those are physical things.
Remember Trump? He's a Democrat.
American public
Don't be fooled.
For being around people who have differences of opinion or differences.
It's a fucking hurricane.
Differences in tribe or affiliation.
That's not even going to prove it.
Waning and this has presented really, significant challenges for classical liberalism.
This is so interesting.
Classical liberalism, huh?
There's a lot that you said there, and I want to dig into it a little bit. First and foremost, I will completely acknowledge that, not just in some way, but in major ways, media and internet have moved very far away from institutions and towards narrowly focused, sites or groups. Just out there to do one thing, whether you agree with them or not. I don't want to water that down. But secondly, so you're talking about, both of you are talking about major changes in life overall. I mean, the internet is access to information that
need some sugar,
people just never had
cotton candy,
different points of view, etc., which may either strengthen or weaken their relationships with their church. You've written about that extensively. But also the churches themselves to keep up with these changes. I wonder if another way of looking at that is that churches have not been able to maintain their relevance in people's lives with all of the sort of social and cultural changes that you talked about. And
damn Trump,
again,
and Putin too.
Wrote an amazing article about your book, and he also pointed to a culture of workism in America as replacing the kinds of meaningful feedback that people used to get from church. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, the atrocities.
That's a great question. And this is why the 90s was such an inflection point. When you look at de-churching and how that's when all of this really hit a tipping point. So you have four factors that I can go through very briefly. The fall of the Soviet Union was a massive deal.
Try to travel across the world in a boat.
The end of the Cold War, to be American was synonymous.
Probably wouldn't take as long as if I flew.
When I was young, and I'm not that
old. I'd rather
someone said I'm not
sail in a boat.
The next question might have been, well, are you a communist? So after the fall of the Soviet Union, there was freedom to be able to say I'm not a Christian.
So if I go, that's going to be a long traveling
show. Schools and libraries predominantly. At that point in the 90s, you have things happening like the advent of the internet cafe.
I will have to be in the best shape form of my entire life.
Of the 90s, when you have 9/11,
so I haven't gained any weight. I was at the hospital. I mean, the doctor's clinic. Checkup.
And so there was another reason for people to say,
and I'm only at 190 pounds still.
And so what you saw.
That's what I was at before.
People de-churching more on the secular left.
I've actually lost weight.
And mainline.
I say eating entire
fast forward to where we are now,
doses of food beyond belief.
Almost catching up in the full number.
There I go again.
On the secular left.
that. Okay, so let's take that to the next phase then. Where are they going instead?
Well, that's,
I don't know how I can do it.
Yeah, so
How
I
can
think,
it
in terms of
be
the secular right,
possible?
it's no great surprise
I don't
from
know.
2015 to present that
I don't know.
there's been a reveal. You know the word apocalyptic. Not talking like 2012. So I think one of the things
How am I not to get away?
is that with the advent of the light
After eating all of
the
this,
that comes in that, it's
I should at least gain a few more pounds than I was before. But I hadn't.
Becomes very algorithmically driven.
And so everyone's saying to give it up.
People who are seeing
I'll never beat
their
200 even. I
in
can't even
ways
get to
that,
195.
feedback loop. And so that feedback loop is then
Oh God, I'm only
to
5'3".
become more honest on more controversial topics. I remember growing up.
Welcome to the vlog.
Religion and
If you're new
politics,
here,
well, those
my
were
name's
not supposed to
Yancey.
be things to be
Janusz
discussed about.
Yancey.
But in the advent of social media,
And I'm
you now have this
190.9
incentive structure,
pounds.
for people to share their thoughts
I
on those
am
things.
forever
And so
old.
I think those things have
Eternity.
generated people, having
I'm not going
questions
anywhere. I've always
about
been here. I'm not
their
going
actual
anywhere.
perspectives, not just with respect to
I always will.
affiliation, but even down to policy
You
matters.
know?
And people
So,
use these platforms to exert
that's how it's
influence.
going to be. Alright, alright,
So where
alright.
I'm going with
Enough,
that,
enough.
with respect
Alright,
to the
enough.
secular right is,
Tickle me.
I think
You're
for
making
some
me sick.
people,
I puke.
and not everybody, but I think for many people,
What's the matter,
there's
you?
urge.
Hey!
People are being more honest.
Ah, shut
about
up your
what are their
face.
biggest wants and what
Ah,
are
shut
their
up your
biggest fears.
face.
And I think for some people, the politics flag was maybe flying higher than the Jesus flag. And I think in the 90s,
Fuck
that
them
was
both,
more
man.
revealed on the
Fuck
secular
those
left,
flags.
left, on the line to some degree, to a lesser degree.
Eat some
with
flags
Catholic
too, man.
traditions. And then
Get out of here with that.
evangelical churches, I think
Crappy
many people
stuff.
probably the
Oh,
political flag
yeah.
was flying higher than the Jesus flag, there.
Oh,
And so
jeez.
now the constant,
Oh,
do you
jeez.
want to go to church where you have
Oh,
to sit next to the
jeez.
pew from somebody, who votes differently, that votes differently than you? Wouldn't you rather go to a political rally where you kind of feel like maybe you have more, solidarity
No.
from either a civilization,
No, I'd rather go to bed.
ethnic level, or in terms of just
I'd rather go to the
So I think
beach,
in many
huh?
ways, we've experienced from 2015 to present an apocalyptic event.
Take me
in the
to,
sense of the
take me to the
revealing
river.
of where
The river.
people are
Take me to the
really
river.
at.
Yeah. This is a
I watch a
really,
river
really
go by
important point, and I'm going to quote
so many times, eh?
who helped with all of the data.
I reach down into the river, I pull up a bunch of stuff, fish, money, gold, even gold. I've had in my hand to pass right through.
The New York Times is saying politics has become the master identity, and he looked at Iowa.
He's a
in
crap,
particular,
eh?
And he said Iowa, for
He's a
example, is
crap,
ultra
brother.
conservative, not
Rar,
Christians
get
at this point,
there.
which is exactly Donald Trump's
Grrr.
base. And then in this story, the New York Times story, there was a very, like you said, revealing quote from an Iowa
I can
voter,
tell you
Susan
this.
Hatfield, who says
It's not
she
gonna-
was raised as a Baptist,
Not gonna be easy,
prays
okay?
to God every night, but
I'm not listening to you. You're crazy. You're crazy.
He's the only savior I can
I'm not listening to
and I
you. You're
want to ask you
crazy.
that not from a, like, what does that mean politically? Because I think we've done a million shows about that.
Oh,
Ask about what it
hate
means
orphans. I
for
hate
the
all
church,
orphans
churches
of the
themselves.
world.
When there are a lot of people who profess a profound faith,
Go on,
they're
I
putting,
met
like
them.
you said, politicians up as having equal, if not greater, rank than Jesus and God, who's
That's us.
supposed to be the thing that provides the spiritual fulfillment. Even the church.
Don't look at me.
Some can say that the church brought it on itself, or churches brought it on themselves.
Goddamn right they brought them on themselves.
The living of evangelical Christianity and right-wing Republicans.
Well,
They at least bring it on themselves. They ask for it. Hey, sick of it all.
In the 80s and 90s
So sick of it all.
has had some fallout.
Signore.
And I think it's logical fallout.
Machu
Anecdotally,
Picchu.
in the church, just so there was a big push in 2020 for by a contingent of people for me to authorize
Me
the
too.
handing out of right-wing voter guides in worship in November of 2020. And my response
I'm
was,
just sitting
"Guys,
around.
this
I'll
is
probably
not
go
why
get
we're
some
here.
sugar.
Jesus is not on the ticket. We
I'll probably
have
get some
hope
Jesus
which is greater,
sugar.
but I do think
Lick
that
it
the
up.
fear and confusion that our
I'll be licking
culture
it up.
is experiencing, it revealed some places that
I'm not
we're-
gonna suck it up.
for those who are
You're gonna lick it
Christians,
up
where we
on
might
that.
not be actually looking to Jesus as our real secure hope, as our
Dauphin.
true purpose and meaning. So I think unfortunately we saw some of
The
that play out as well.
Dauphin. You must
When we come
protect the
back, I wanna
Dauphin.
talk about, why, in this really revealing analysis that the two of you have, why there may be some hope for reasons why people may want to go back
There's no fucking
to
hope.
their houses of worship, and it has a lot to do
Fuck,
with what's
give it
happening
up,
outside
man.
of those houses of worship in American
The
politics
last
and
thing we
culture.
need
So,
anymore is religious fervor.
the new book is called The Great De-Churching. Who's leaving? Why are they going? And what will it take to bring
We're
them
a
back?
lot more than a
This is On
church.
Point.
We're better than that. They act like it's the best thing ever. It's a bunch of shit. The whole backstabbing gossipers and haters. Real love is in the real house of the holy, which is inside of us, inside of us. And it will always be inside of us.
Israel is defending its
It's
actions
kind of
against
funny,
Hamas in
but
an
it's not
international
that
court,
funny.
And Germany is by Israel's side.
I was watching the right stuff and they had
accusations of
Jose
genocide.
Jimenez on
I'm
there.
Marco Werman.
And
It's a space man.
Case not only taps into a global divide over the war in Gaza, it puts Germany's own history under scrutiny.
That story next time on The World.
Today,
Today,
on the Ideas Network.
I'll take a ride. I'll take a ride up the hill.
Cars, so I do it as
I'll jump in and take a ride.
It was a natural for us to donate this vehicle that we no longer need.
You can come with me. If you want to come with me, you can come with me up on this ride on the hill.
I wasn't even there when they
I'll
changed
take
it
you.
up. It was very easy.
Take you all the way up.
Warm feeling about it.
Find out how
You look down, you be
can
scared.
donate at WPR.org/.
You be scared,
Thank you.
and you'll be frozen in terror. It's
Support
okay.
for Wisconsin Public Radio comes from the Earl M. Terry Endowment Fund, a permanent endowment that provides ongoing support to sustain the present and future operation of Wisconsin Public
It's going to be a
Radio.
lot of fun, huh? It's going to be a lot of fun, huh?
Wisconsin Public Radio's website is made for your mobile phone. Read the news from the state and the world and listen to our streams. It's all formatted for your mobile phone or tablet. Stay on top of the
I
news
can't
at
even believe.
WPR.org.
Can't even believe it.
WUWS Ashland. The idea
It's
is
unbelievable.
Wisconsin Public Radio.
So
Listen
unbelievable.
online at WPR.org.
I think I'm gonna go to the coffee shop. Oh, I'll probably just get a regular coffee this time.
Creators of MATLAB and Simulink software for technical computing and model-based design. MathWorks, accelerating the pace of discovery and engineering insights. Learn more at mathworks.com. And the Music Emporium, guitar sellers for more than 50 years, celebrating the enduring presence of music made on the front porch and center stage. You
How about I get
learn more at
going?
themusicemporium.com.
How about I get going?
This is On Point. I'm Megan Chakrabarty, and today we're joined by Mike Graham and Pastor Jim Davis. They are co-authors of the book, The Great De-Churching.
Thank
Who's
God it's
leaving?
de-churched.
Why are they going, and what will it take to
Because
bring
it
them back?
sucks.
And as I
Don't
said
go back.
at the top of the show, when we asked you for your stories about why
There's
you no
nothing
longer
there.
attending your houses of
It's
worship,
empty.
we received one of the highest numbers of responses
It's
we've
empty.
ever received. So
It's not doing anyone any
some
good anymore.
more, of what
It's
you have to
horrible.
say.
I grew
It's
up
treacherous.
in a Free Will
It's
Baptist
dangerous to
church,
believe in a
and
higher
it was
power.
very early that they
Because
didn't
then
practice what they were preaching.
you
We
ain't
had
gonna do
people
shit.
who were
You just pray.
obsessed with homosexuality.
There ain't gonna be
and
no,
condemning
nothing.
that,
Yeah, homosexuality, all that stuff.
You
You
know,
just pray.
sexual and physical abuse of their spouse under the rug. We had church elders who could not afford their medications, And as a congregation, we ignored it. That, man, we sure could raise money for some decorative grass for outside of the church. That was their important thing.
I was raised as a Catholic, and
Fuck
I was
that.
very aware of how sort of invisible women were to the church.
Fuck that shit,
I'm
man.
just becoming very, very aware of how women are treated as second-class citizens.
More recently, we have stopped attending. What really drove my decision was seeing the way that
The internet drove
Christians
it.
reacted to Donald Trump. I was very disheartened to see people put him on a pedestal and create an idol out of him. Christians are not supposed to have idols.
No sleeping in parked
And it
vehicles.
especially bothered me that
It's against the law to sleep in a parked vehicle.
in that.
So those are all
You can only be awake.
in Spartanburg, South
In
Carolina.
a parked vehicle, you must stay awake.
Massachusetts, and
No
Tennessee,
dozing off.
and
You
Kentucky,
will get a
North
ticket.
Carolina.
Be thrown in the slammer and the whoosh cow and never get out. Okay?
I wanna
Is this what you want?
get
To be known as a sleeper in a car parked?
Maybe through
Is
a
this
certain
is the
kind of
legacy you want?
There's actually a way forward to welcome more people back into church,
Huh?
and that is this.
Is it?
That we touched on this a little earlier. That American life has changed so much, not just socially, but I think in people's own, the pressures put on them. In your
Holidays.
in the book, you talk about, for example, a working mother who just does not have time to go to church on when Sunday rolls around.
What do you got
because there's
time for
so
that
many
hellhole
other
church
demands
shit?
on her.
Fuck that, man.
And the focus on work also as a place for spiritual fulfillment, right? Being defined.
It's
by
gross.
what one does.
It's so
And
gross.
the economic pressures too, right? Like you have to be able to work and save enough for retirement.
It's so
for
gross.
your health care, pay your rent, etc. That these things take up a lot of spiritual and emotional space. But of course, my view, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, but church was supposed to be, or could be, one of the antidotes to
It's a
those
scam.
kind of pressures in life. That here was a space where one could share, fellowship and community with others,
Fuck that
and in
shit.
fact receive relief from those pressures. First of all, is that an accurate understanding of part of what church is supposed to be able to provide for people?
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And one of the things that we found that was surprising is that de-churching is hitting the lower educated, lower income
That's
the
even
hardest,
better.
because this is who
Good, they don't need it. What are you gonna teach them? How to suck even more?
Someone becomes a single parent, however that happens, without that kind of financial safety net.
Single parent,
they're
you mean
the
like?
ones who have to work longer hours and more unusual hours.
I mean like?
Actually,
There
only
was no
3%
father.
of
I was
evangelicals with a
carried
master's
and I
degree
gave
in our
birth.
study had de-churched. So certainly there's an economic piece to this. Our identity increasingly in work, it moves us away from the, I would say, God-given, not just advice, but command that we need to take a day and rest. And we need to take a day and come together and worship and experience that community. It's what we were designed for. And so it doesn't surprise me that you would see this downward spiral.
Good
The more we
graciousness.
get drawn into one thing and away from what I and most Christians would say we were designed for.
Yeah, there's something very particularly American about this this challenge before churches, because let's acknowledge the truth.
There it
In
is.
Europe, there's been a massive amount of not just de-churching but loss of faith. So it's not uniquely American, but the American aspect of it is that we do live in a culture.
Let's get the hell out of here, but first let's take a look, man.
Right, and church, by being supposed to be a place where one is brought out of themselves, should be the antidote.
Hacha, macha, wacha.